How's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining me on my small engine repair channel. Today's project is this Troy-Bilt Vortex 3-stage snowblower. And so what we're going to show you today is how to adjust the gears in case they're not working just right. Alright, so if you're having issues with your forward and reverse gears on your machine, maybe it's not going into reverse, or maybe your forward gear is your first reverse gear, or your reverse gear goes forward. This is caused because the transmission is actually out of whack. So what I'm going to do is show you how to adjust the transmission on this style of machine. So as you can see right now, how this works is you have a gear selector up top. Okay, so this one in particular has 2 reverse gears, 6 forward gears. Right now it's in upside down, of course, reverse 1. Okay, this handle is connected by a cable underneath, okay, that comes down to this bracket assembly. Okay, that bracket assembly is attached to this shaft. The shaft is attached through a bunch of mechanisms here. There's a spring, this arm, to this friction disc. Okay, this friction disc actually slides on this drive shaft. Okay, it slides back and forth. When you hit your handle to actually make the wheels spin, the drive, what you're doing is actually engaging this cable, which comes from the top. It's on your handle up there. Okay, and then what that does is it pulls this drive wheel up and actually mates with this friction disc. Okay, now how the transmission part of it works for speeds is as this thing is spinning, okay, if it's attached or if it becomes engaged in the center position, all right, that's like a neutral position. And as I get further and further away from the center position, all right, that's going to go faster and faster. This would be, to the left would be your forward gears, and this would be your reverse gears. Okay, so the problem we're having with this particular machine is, as you saw, we're in reverse 1 gear, and that is actually set up right now exactly in the center position of this drive disc or drive wheel. Okay, so which means is when you engage this, it's not going to go forward or backwards. Okay, so we need to adjust this so that this is actually further to the right of the center position. Okay, when you engage it in the R1 position. When you put it into R2, it should go even further to the right. Okay, so what we need to do is get this whole thing to actually adjust it so that it goes right of center in reverse and left of center in the forward gears. I'll show you how to do that. All right, so to adjust this transmission, what we're going to do is we're going to actually put this transmission lever up into the forward 6th gear. Okay, the reason we do that is it actually releases a lot of the tension on this cable. You can see how much slop there is in this actual cable. What we need to do is actually get the slop out of this cable so that as soon as we move that handle up top, that's going to actually, through this cable with no slack in it, going to actually start driving this in a counterclockwise direction. Okay, so to do that, what you need is to loosen this lock nut. Okay, so you get yourself a couple of 7/16 wrenches or socket and wrench combination, and we need to hold the head of the bolt on the bottom side while we loosen off this nut. Okay, and you don't have to loosen it off too much. You just have to loosen it off enough that we can actually move this little piece of the bracket. So what we're going to do is, to get rid of the tension, of course, I need to actually adjust this bracket in this case, a clockwise direction. All right, so that there's no actual slack on this particular cable. So it'll engage as soon as I move that handle up top. Okay, so what you have to do is hold this while you tighten this nut and this bolt. Okay, so I'm going to hold that down. Okay, you're going to have to do this with kind of one hand. You're going to have to hold the wrench and hold the bracket with the same hand. Then tighten down the nut, the lock nut, and that's it. Okay, so to test it out, what we're going to do, what I've done is I've drawn a line on the center of that drive wheel. Okay, so we want to make sure that when we're in the forward, position, this friction disc is to the left. Okay, so in F1, we want it to be left of that line, and R1, we want it to be to the right of that line. So let's see how we did. Okay, so 5th gear, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Okay, that's the 1st gear in the forward position, and as you can see, our friction disc is still left of the center position, so it should drive it forward. Now what we're looking for is in R1, we're looking for that to come to the right of center. Okay, and there you have it. You can see right of center, and then R2 would be further right of center. Okay, so now when it drives, it should go forward and backwards the way it's supposed to go. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you like the content, hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. It really helps me out on the channel. And until our next video, guys, take care.